everyone, my name's Hannah and I'm the face behind the Corner of Craft, and today I will be showing you how to make a really cool bracelet made on a bead loom. These are all made from teeny tiny seed beads and it's really super 80s and brightly coloured and I really like it. I was definitely born in the wrong decade, but that's fine. 90s child for life. Anyway, I had a request on Bracelet Book after I posted some of the bracelets that I've made on a bead loom, asking me if I could make a sneaky video showing them how to do it. So this is it. Bracelet Book is like a friendship bracelet app and website with patterns, but I use friendship bracelet alpha patterns, which I will be making a video on in the future to make my bead loom, because they are essentially the same. As in the patterns are the same, the technique's not the same. So if you'd like to know how to make one of your own bead loom bracelets, then keep watching. So to get started on making this bracelet, it's lovely, it's zigzag, it's very zany and quite 80s. You will need your bead loom, and this is the Jewel Loom by Bead Loom. I'll put a link in the description as to where I got it from. You will need some form of small bead. I'm using size 10 seed beads, but you can use delicas if you like. They sit together quite nicely in a bracelet, but I'm just using seed beads because, you know, I have them. You're going to need a beading needle small enough to fit through the beads you have. You're going to need some beading thread. I'm using Nymo, and I use crochet cotton as my warp. You can just string it using your beading thread, but I like the crochet cotton because then I can braid the ends and tie it on my wrist, as opposed to bother with clasps. But it's really not that much effort to put clasps on. I'm just being lazy. But that is what I'm like. And finally, you're going to need your pattern, and this is mine. It's pattern number 9414 on Bracelet Book, and it's by someone called Kaya. But yeah, this is the pattern you'll need. Or is the pattern I'm using. Oh, also, apologies for the duster. My friend's gonna hate this, and I know that she watches, so I'm really sorry, Emma. But it stops my beads rolling around. But everyone else just uses a bead mat. But I'm too cheap to fork out 75p. It's not expensive at all. So yes, to set up this bead loom, it comes with this little metal bit, and you just pop it in the hole, and then you bend it upwards. It's not going to snap. Plump. And you pop the other side in the hole, and then you get your whatever you're going to use for your warp. And then we need to count across how many beads this pattern is. So 1, 2, 3. Oh no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 across. You always need one more warp than you have beads across. So I'm going to need 9 lengths of this across my loom because I'm 8 beads. So how I do it is I just tie a little knot at the beginning. Like so, and then insert your thread into a groove, insert one into another groove, loop it around the little button on the back, and then insert your thread into the next groove, and insert into the next groove, around the little button at the back, and just keep doing that until you've got 9. There we go, we have 9. Then you take your scissors. I forgot to say that you need them, but it's fairly logical. Take your scissors and snip, and then tie a little knot around the little buttony bit on the back, like so, and that should keep it all secure. And then to create the tension you need, all you have to do is take out this little metal part here, and you've got some nice tension going on. So I've poured out each of my colours. I'm only going to use 4, even though in my pattern it does show more colours. But that's just you know, you can use as many colours as you want. Anyway, I've cut about 2 meters of my beading thread, and I'm just going to stretch that in my hands, because then that gets rid of any of the little loops, and it's, you know, it's been spun around a little bobbiny type thing, so it will get rid of any kinks or any loops, and therefore it shouldn't knot as easily, she says, as she gets a knot in the end while trying to do that. Awkward. I'm just going to snip that off and pretend that didn't happen, even though I just told you. So to start, I'm leaving a bit of an end because I want to plait my threads. So I'm starting, you know, about 5 centimeters down-ish. Not very good at cutting. And I'm tying my first strand on. Just tie it in a knot. It's fairly standard. And then thread your needle onto your thread. Doo-doo-doo. There we go. And I'm a little bit odd when I do bead loom, I think. I go left-handed. I am actually right-handed, but for some reason when I loom I seem to go left-handed. So if we have a look at our pattern, not that you can see it very well, but if you have that open on your screen, you will see that the first square is black, and then we've got 3 yellow, which is going to be my pink. Then we've got 1 black, 2 white, and 1 black, and each of the squares represents a bead. So what we do is we pick up 1 bead, 1 black, 3 pink, 2, 3, 1 black, 1 black, 2 white. Oh, I'm covering up what I'm doing. Good filming, Hannah. And then, oh no, 2 white and a black. My bad. So we then line that up under your threads on your needle, and you want to poke them through, so each bead has a bit of thread between it, like so. I don't know the best way of filming this, my focus is going to pot, but you can just about see there is a piece of thread between each of the beads, and then you pull your needle through all of them, and then you're holding that in place with your finger, and then you go through the beads over the top of each of your crochet cotton threads. And out the other side, and pull that through. Give it a bit of a wiggle. So now we're on to the next row. So we're on to 1 black, 2 pink, 1 black, 3 white, and then another black. And then we're just lining it up underneath and on the needle, because I find it helps with getting them all where they need to be. Pulling it through, and try not to get your hand in the way. Pulling it through, and the rest of the tail. And then back through the beads, over the top of each of your warp threads. If you don't go over the top of each of your warp threads, if you end up going through or underneath or something, your bead will pop up and it will look weird. Basically, that's just what's going to happen. Okay, next row. So I'm going to stop there. It's a little bit shorter than I'd like. That's fine, but I'm running out of thread and I can't bother to attach more. because I'm lazy. So how I finish off is I go back underneath the last row of beads we've just done. And I don't know why I do that, I just do. Going underneath all the warps if you can. And in my head that just secures it in place, but I don't know if that's true. And then I just wrap it around the last warp thread, not tying a knot or anything. Just wrapping it around and then going through the next row. Just a couple of beads. I've come out three beads across, and then needle underneath the warp thread. And you need to catch that loop here, and then you wrap your needle through that loop a couple of times and give it a bit of a tug, and then keep going through the rest of your beads. And then wrap it round the end warp thread again, back through about 3 beads or 4 beads. Because if you do your knots in the middle of your rows, then they won't be as noticeable. In the first few I kind of jumped between, like if I was sewing in ends of a friendship bracelet, but then I realised that was really messy, and I don't want messy. Tie a knot like I did last time, and sew back through the rest of the beads. And then for this next row I'm just going to go through the beads. I'm not going to, oh sorry about the clattering. For this next row I'm just going to sew through the beads. I'm not going to bother tying a knot or anything because I've got a couple now, so that should keep it in place. And then come up in the middle of the row like that and snip off the end. And I'm just going to repeat that process with the one that we've started on. And then, so the ends of my beading thread are all sewn in, and now we have the fun part. We're trying to undo the knots that we tied earlier. Oh, I just knocked my beads flying. Anyway, so then what you want to do is you want to chop all your little loops in half. I mean, if I knew I was going to make a bracelet this short, I could have started it further down. Because look how much excess we have this side. But usually you don't have that much, so not bad. So I'm obviously going to start with the shorter end so I know what size braid I'm going to be needing. So I can washi tape my bracelet down while I plait it. So yeah, 3 of each, and then most people know how to plait. Left over centre, right over centre, left to the centre, right to the centre. Tie your basic overhand knot, and then repeat for the other side so it's the same length as this. Ta-da! Look at the amazing thing you've created. You should feel accomplished. So I hope that you like the tutorial on how to make this really cool bead loom bracelet. You can obviously apply that to any bead loom bracelet that you want to make. Don't forget that anything that you've made from one of my tutorials, you can always take a sneaky picture and post it on Instagram with the hashtag #thecornerofcraft. I would really appreciate seeing any of the stuff that you've made. You can also follow me on Instagram if you want. I'm at @thecornerofcraft. I also have a Twitter. You can follow me on there. You can also like me on Facebook because, you know, why not? And I do also have Pinterest and Tumblr, which I use on occasion. So all relevant links I'll put in the description below if you're interested. Thanks in advance for rating and commenting on this video, and thank you for subscribing as well. And I will see you all very soon. Bye!